My Bond is finally leveled up, the absolute hardest hitting rare. I think if you took him against Bedivere in a 2-minute fight against a target dummy, Bond might do more damage. I'm going to go over why that is, why I'm using him now more than Bedivere. He just front loads more damage and he keeps that consistent damage on the boss, and it's not those random hits that Bedivere does. Those 2 random hits that Bedivere does hit like a truck. But still, I'd like to see both of these heroes in-game gear and see who can do more, because I think this guy is here as a rare to be our PvE DPS machine, to bring him in everywhere and to take things down really fast, because he's taking turn after turn. He relies on speed to do more damage. Let's get some clips rolling while we're talking about this. Here's me going up against the Boar. We'll show all the things he can do. We'll show my gear. We'll talk about some other gear options. Here we are on Boar 9. I've got a 29-second run on this. I can't do Boar 10 yet, but I'm nowhere near end game, so that's fine with me. We're getting 5 hits on his skill 3. He's actually in a vigor set right now. We got some more hits from K over there, and now we broke through, and only the last few hits were able to do damage to Boar. Yeah, right now, if he attacks, though, he's going to do a lot less damage because his attack relies on his attack speed. With 60% less attack speed, that would lower his damage by quite a lot. But that's okay. We had our healer remove that debuff. Now we're going to go in and bam. Almost killed the Boar in just that one skill 3. Now, we could use his skill 2 as well. He's got a really cool skill 2. And by the way, I'm using his Wind Relic. If you don't have access to the Wind Relic, I'll show you where to go pick that up. You could also use his Frost Relic. He comes to us as Frost. We're going to do this last hit, and then right at the end, did you see all those numbers? See, he doesn't need anything to be strong right away. He just needs to attack, and he's really fast. He's at 180 speed, somewhere around there, and he comes in, and because he's so fast, and he's actually giving himself increased speed with the skill I'm using, he gets to attack multiple times over my Bedivere, over everyone else. He'll just sneak in there and do an attack, and then somebody might go, and then he'll do another attack, multiple attacks before, like, say, the dragon takes a turn, which is really, really handy, something like this here. So he'll get in there a few times before the dragon actually takes a turn. And I'm not doing any kind of manipulation. I think on this dragon, you can't knock back its ultimate gauge, but it's really nice because it's crazy damage, and then you get to come in there so many times and keep applying it. And again, we don't have to worry about, trying to stack anything with him. All he has to do is hit one time, and he's got this really cool ability that once he does a decent amount of damage, like one hit, he'll have 100% critical damage buff on him the whole entire time. His passives aren't anything we need to worry about. Here we're just doing defense increase with Boars. This one gives us an increased speed whenever we critical strike, so it's nice to have, but we're doing it ourselves on our skill 3 with the wind weapon. This will give us an additional speed though, and this does increase his damage because the way he works, all his multipliers are done off of increased speed. And having a 1.5 multiplier on this wind weapon for the skill 3 is pretty insane. 5 hits, which is really nice. We get a chance to get increased speed on ourselves, which is even more damage plus more turns, but 1.5%. Right now, say we go to 200 speed. 200 speed would be 300% additional damage plus the 90. Who has a 390% multiplier for damage like this? And then he's got 100% critical damage increase, and nobody can compete with 100% critical damage increase all the time. It's not even a buff where you can take it away. Now that is from his Chivalry 3, but I think a lot of these rares over time, it's pretty convenient for people to Chivalry 3, especially with these. Usually after one attack, this is already maxed out at 100% additional critical strike damage. So of course, we want crit rate on him, and we get a little bit of crit rate here. He's kind of taking care of himself. Now, I can't wait to get him further out. Here, he'll gain some life. If he's low on HP, we'll get some more attack. We'll get some more attack again. And then this one will be pretty interesting to see what happens with this drain and additional critical strike. He just keeps getting stronger and stronger. I am using him everywhere. I'm loving this guy. I'm telling you, he just flies in, does damage, things die. I'm in a vigor set right now, and he's already putting out a crazy amount of damage. I'm in that vigor set so I can do a skill 3 more often, and that way I can always do a skill 2. Now, the skill 2 multiplier on the wind weapon is 1.2% of attack, which is still extremely, extremely high. And then each of these 4 hits gets a chance to knock down the attack gauge. And it is each of these 4 hits because I can see the attack gauge knocking down multiple times. Now, this is really good on the Tiger boss. This is really good on a lot of bosses, and later on it'll be even crazy if we can get these skills in here to knock it down even further and have a higher percentage, because it would be a lot. Now, he's not going to knock it down every time, and of course, we need effect accuracy for this. Let's look over these frost skills, and then we'll go look at where to pick up the wind weapon. Now, the frost AoE, it's 0.6%. This would still be a harder hitting AoE than even Gawain. I think Gawain's like 110% for his skill 3 AoE. If we have 200 speed or 180 speed, this still puts it at over that percentage base. So I don't see why this would be bad. This would actually be really good. You're doing a crazy AoE damage. I haven't needed AoE damage because I love the single target for everything I do, but still, with the frost weapon that he comes with, that's strong. This is really strong too. It's not as strong as wind. It's 0.9%, almost 1% per speed. So at my 170 speed, this would almost be 170 additional attack. Still extremely high. 170 plus 63, and then we've got a chance to get attack speed increase. This attack speed will increase your damage along with having you do more turns. So overall more damage, and you're outpacing the enemy, so more than likely you're gonna beat him. If you don't know how to get other weapons, other relics, you can come down here to the Lady of the Lake, this icon right there, and you'll be able to see relics and heroes in here. Every day they change on the right hand side. Every week they change on the left hand side. Here are relics. If you see his wind relic, pick it up. I've already exchanged a lot of my relics that I know I'm not going to use. I've got 16,000, so I've changed in quite a few already in preparation to one day maybe have 52,000. Not really to get a legendary, but more to get a rare that I don't have. Like, I don't have Rosier's fire weapons. There's 2 weapons you definitely want to pick up, and that's Rosier's fire weapon and Bond's wind weapon. I don't know of any other heroes that are as strong as those are currently. I have crit rate earrings along with attack speed. This is attack speed, which is awesome there on the orb, and this one's attack on the belt. That's it. Any kind of substats for attack and crit rate, critical damage, I would be happy to have. But for now, it's not bad. We've got attack of 1,800, critical damage of 31%, but we get that additional 100. That's what puts him over pretty much everybody else. There's nobody else out there that I can think of that has a buff like that. Is there anybody that can do 100% additional critical damage? I don't think there's anybody else. Plus, increase their multiplier so high, like have the highest multiplier inside this game. I don't know that there is. Getting so much speed means that we're doing so many turns and we're increasing that multiplier so high. It's a bit different than just doing attack. If we just do attack on Bedivere, we do critical damage on Bedivere. Yeah, he's getting stronger, but he's still staying at that same speed. And a lot of times with those Bediveres, you're going to have a speed ring on. You're going to want him decently fast so he can keep up with the boss, so he can keep up with enemies in PvP. Whereas this guy, he feeds off that. Give him as much speed as you want, and he'll fly in and just tear it up. If you haven't faced him in PvP, watch out. He will come in and deplete one of your heroes before you even take a turn. It's wild. That's Bond, an absolute beast. I hope you have luck finding his wind relic in the shop. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Appreciate your time, your love, your support. Let me know what you think about him down below, and I will see you all in a video soon.